kind of a small business. We try to engage all the players, but it's not enough to accommodate so many. So we have this handcraft and jewelry making, a small industry where they all try. You know, homeless people are not very educated. So what we do, we try to engage them in handicrafts. Yeah, and we also have small programs where we have young kids of under 14, 15 years. We have been supported by an organization called Sports for Social Change Network. It's an organization of by CARE, and they support us a lot, and we try to train the kids, giving them life skill and sports skills, and we try to give them feeding program because feeding is a very big problem. So actually, we train them from the grassroots, yeah, so that they don't grow with the attitude of that. Okay, they are homeless. You know, make them proper citizens. You know, give them direction towards being a proper citizen in future. So that's one of our biggest objectives, to improve our database and to engage more youths. Currently, we are very limited. We have about, let's say, 30 in every zone. We have got 8 zones, so only 30 players in every zone. So you find, actually, we need to increase this.
You need to increase the numbers.
The number of participants.
More talent.
Yeah, and we also need to create a lot of opportunities around this sport, whereby these players can go to the mainstream football. You know, we want to be recognized by the media, so that to our tournaments, you know, the finals of our tournaments, maybe the coaches, like, you know, the Pele, the way he was doing, he was inviting all the coaches from the Premier side, you know, the nationwide. At least give these youths, even if they come from very low in the social ladder, then they should be given an opportunity at least to be seen, and maybe they can be more committed than a player who had a silver spoon
from the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. Yeah.
You say we can talk about women football in Kenya. It's low.
That was a question I was about to ask you.
Low. So it's like in our organization, we are giving them the life again.
So women also have a chance.
They have a chance to go and exhibit their talent in Europe.
Yeah.
So we have.
This year we have the Women Homeless World Cup team. Yeah. We have a women team.
It's running parallel. Huh?
Have they trained?
They are training with us.
They are training harder than the guys. You know?
And I'm sure they're going to bring something here.
Yeah.
I'm sure they.
I'm more confident with the girls team.
Than with them?
more.
I'm
confident with all of them.
Okay.
But I'm more confident with the girls. The girls are more committed, more, you know, they're giving everything they have. And football is about, you know, the heart. They're playing with their heart. And as long as you can make a player play with his heart, I mean, you know, the sky is the limit.
You see, in our organization, we had these girls going to, they have already left. They left on Saturday. They're in Germany. They are going to play, to cut and raise for the World Cup.
For the Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
Yes,
FIFA
yes.
We have a team that we have taken there. Yeah.
Our woman coach is the coach for the girls under 14.
Nice. I know it kicks off next week Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're there. They're already there now, and it's great. Like, I see, for these kids, it's an opportunity.
The exposure to be at the World Cup.
Yeah, and you see, we have a problem again. I don't think the government came in to support this initiative.
The good thing, CARE came on board and they took over, and now they sponsored everything. Yeah. And they're doing a great job.
But more needs to be done is what I'm getting from you.
More needs to be done from here. Corporate companies. You see, we have Barclays sponsoring the league in Europe. And they do nothing here.
What can they do?
What can they do to support sports?
But a question they may be asking is, and a question many people at home may be asking, many times on TV, in the newspapers, whatever we see people appealing for support. But we want to know, what have they done? Looking at your organization, what can you say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things you've done in terms of your objectives. What have you achieved that you know, can make people begin to say, look, this homeless federation is something we can begin to trust. We're looking at the KPL, the Kenyan Premier League. We can begin to see the fruit of their labor. and that's sponsors are going into the KPL, they're going to sponsor their teams and so forth. Maybe I challenge you, what can you tell us, what are the objectives you had set and how have you gone in achieving them?
Yes, recently I was with the Provincial Director of Sports, Madam Alice Kekonde, and you know, I was, you know, she told me openly with my colleagues that, you know, street soccer has achieved amazingly. You know, we have transformed the lives of so many people, so many youths actually. We have made some players to go professional. You know, I told you that we had 3 players playing currently in Melbourne, 1 player playing in Italy, 1 player playing in Greece, yeah, who has participated in the World Cup, of course. And then we have players who have become coaches. You know, like, you know, currently the women team is being coached by a former homeless World Cup player. The women team also is being coached by a former homeless World Cup player. There are so many players who have become referees. We have coached them. The ministry has really been supporting us, supporting the players, yeah. Okay, we have engaged some of them in entrepreneurship, yeah.
As well, beyond just the football.
Yes, beyond football. And we have already taken several players to the mainstream football. You know, we have, you know, coaches who are like Alex Mwagi, who's coaching Sofapaka currently, the goalkeeper coaches. We have Hamilton Anyera, who's doing a project in Korokocho, a wonderful project, you know. We have, you know, Rosemary, who has taken the under-14 to German recently. So I really, really believe that we have transformed a lot of figures. You know, I'm sure, I wish you could have seen most of the players who have participated in previous World Cups. They are totally transformed. Some of them are more focused, psychologically more focused in life, you know. There's no failure. All the players that we have gone to outside to play in what you call World Cup, once they come back, they're quite different from, they're a cut above the rest. You can obviously see the way they dress, the way they handle themselves, the way they bring up themselves. So
and does that contribute to their behavior from then on? You know that being homeless means you could be exposed to many things.
Yes.
Drugs.
Yes. They become more aware.
Yes. Would you say that?
About drugs. They are more aware about, you know, poverty, fighting against poverty, take it out, you know, being bold and taking out yourself from the poverty situation, you know, focusing on life, working hard, you know, becoming a leader, becoming responsible for your decisions, you know. We teach them, you know, we have got life skill programs that are teaching these people, you know, like these 4 months they're training.
The training
we
that you've been doing, yes.
Football only. We have 2 hours for, you know, sports messaging, yeah. We do training whereby we give messages about HIV, leadership, early pregnancy, you know, so many social issues. We address them through football, and we discuss. We have, you know, group discussions. You know, everybody puts in. We bring facilitators from outside to teach them about, you know, HIV, what you can do about your life. You know, to be hardworking. You know, what do you need to be to come out of this situation? And I believe after 3-4 months, you know, the player is much aware of themselves than they were before.
I like that.
And more focused.
I like that. I like that.
You asked a question about what are we going to do in 5 years' time?
Yes.
What do you expect?
What do you hope to achieve? Yes.
For me, because I'm more in soccer, I would like to see streets the way the Brazilians did raise their football in their country. Street soccer in Kenya raise football in this country. Have more footballers coming from street and playing for the national team. And I know we're going to achieve. We're going for the 11-a-side World Cup with these boys.
If it happened out there, why can't it happen here? Is what you're asking.
Exactly.
Yes.
A question people may also be asking themselves is, we know there's homelessness in Kenya, possibly in Africa, possibly maybe towards the east. But is there homelessness in the West? I mean, we're trying to reconcile that. When we look at the West, we think of very wealthy countries. But you've been out there. What have you seen?
Well, the homeless is very diverse. You could have seen, I wish you could have seen the player definition. You'll find that, okay, you know, players, most of the players, what the problem, the kind of problem they have, they are good players, they play even good football, in very high level football, but they get engaged in what do you call this, drugs, you know, alcohol abuse, you know, cigarette abuse also,
Yes.
you know, all those they combine together to make, you know, at least they are eligible to play in the World Cup. They
So
also
that's
have
part of the definition.
refugees. Yeah,
Mhm.
they also have refugee problems. Yeah, so there's so many players who are refugees or don't live in that country and they play for countries like German, Italy. You find that there's so many Chiles who are not Italians and they play for the Homeless World Cup. So they have got various reasons. They also have these rehab centers whereby they engage those players who come from the rehab centers, and they also have homeless what do you call these shelters, places you can go if you don't have a job, you don't have anybody to take care of you. Like Pepe, he was raised in an orphanage kind of. So what is there is that players who get raised in centers like orphanages get a chance to come
Shelters
and
as well.
Shelters.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a parting shot,
Yeah.
Bwana Mwangi.
When you are living below a dollar a day, somebody working in Australia and earning 6,000 shillings, what do you and renting a house for 2,000? What do you call? Not even a shant, but a better structured
An
house.
ashanti,
Yeah. What do you call that
person.
That person is a homeless.
That person is a homeless person.
You are renting a house. You are homeless. You don't have yours.
You don't have your.
Yeah, so to play, you are eligible to play
In this tournament.
this tournament.
Yeah, and Europe, it's a social exclusion problem.
Okay.
If you are excluded in the mainstream social life, you have a problem.
That makes sense. So of course, different definitions for different parts of the world. But all in all, every part of the world has its issues.
its own problem.
Its own problem.
And one big thing that Homeless World Cup has really achieved is bringing all these players in a one place, and they share culture, they share different diverse opinions, and this can really inspire some of these players to come back home and become better people than they were.
My goodness. Juan Ahmed, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I mean, my mind has been transformed. Bwana Mwangi,
Yes.
keep doing the good job. Hopefully your tournament is in August.
Yes.
Maybe you
We'll
can
be
give
leaving
us-
on the 17th of August.
Okay.
And we will love the country to be behind, everybody to be behind this team,
Okay.
to support the team morally, spiritually.
And if
And
you-
even-
Whatever. Oh, see, I like that. Pray for you as well.
and if you can make it there,
To
I
come
think
and
you
watch.
can, yeah, no, to rely live.
And we invite citizens to be there, by the way.
To
Well, I
rely
hope
live
I
to the
hope-
people of Kenya
I hope
to
my,
see what
my
they.
bosses are watching. Final
Yeah.
question: Are you on Facebook or Twitter or an email that somebody can contact you on?
We have our email. If you go to Homeless World Cup website, you go to Kenya page.
Okay.
If you go to Nations, you get to Kenya page. You find the contacts, you find all our addresses
Good.
there.
So homelessworldcup.com
Yes.
is the
homeless-
website for
.org.
.org. It's the
Yes.
website for the homeless organization across the
Yeah, then
global
you go
one.
to the nations, you find all the nations, then you go to Kenya. If you click Kenya, you find all the details you need.
My goodness.
Even to contact
Thank you
us.
so much. Thank you so much. Right.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly hope you enjoyed that interview. I know I did. More details, homelessworldcup.org is the address. Go to the countries tab, look for Kenya, and then you'll be able to get more information. That's all we have right now in regards to sports. But don't go away. Johnson Mwakazi is up next with the news.